Welcome back to you for another yummy update. The Matrix was defeated, baby dolls. Got 2,000 experience points, leveled up my skills, and now we're ready to go. I want to show you what's going on out there. So if we go back to about, more than 4 years ago now, right before the last crypto cycle actually hit Mania 2021, where actually, funny enough, most of you actually came. Well, the thing is, there was this lull period and a lot of questions were being thrown around. And of course, the question was, what's going to pump? What's actually going to pump? Is anything ever going to pump? Okay, I can take it to you back then. Now, the answer is no one knows. And you're like, well, golly gee, color me shocked. I did not know that it's 50-50 all the time, but we were right here, all right? And if you just look at the chart, you're like, oh, nothing pumped, then everything pumped. Not quite, though. I want to show you this because we're going to move into our next segment about Soylana. Because during this period of time, friends, I was here. I knew what everybody thought. I was following experts on what they believed with very high conviction would pump in the bull market. Do you want to know what they were saying? DeFi, securitization. Also, many people believed that the coins from last cycle, Tron and XRP and Litecoin, would pump hard. Very wrong. None of them did, except Cardano. But you got to think about it, right? Cardano and Doge out of like 15 to 20 coins. It's very, very low odds. So you got to understand how pretty much everyone's mind was blown because it made sense for XRP and Tron to go up because they still had passionate communities from last cycle, from 2017 at the time. And we just had DeFi season, which was in June, July, and August, right? It peaked in August, right? And then everyone believed, DeFi would continue and grow and TradFi would come in. Wrong. It didn't happen at all. Instead, what happened were new coins and new narratives, first cycle stuff moving. Up here and here, what did we see? We saw gaming coins, metaverse coins, NFTs. We saw layer one chains. That became a thing, even though they didn't have an all adoption or anything. So it blew everyone's mind. And of course, Dogcoin Mania. And then before you know, it was all done. All right. So that's what the tough part was. So if I was to tell you something, right, you got to think about it like this. If you go back in 2020, if you think everybody was stupid, you're going to make a very, very, very bad decision with yourself and you're going to wreck yourself. People weren't stupid back then. People were following what had adoption. What had adoption was DeFi and yield, and they had all these companies, and there was ChainLink, and they were doing oracles, and DeFi, and there was Aave, and it worked. The code all worked. It was a freaking amazing thing. Guess what? None of them pumped in 2021. Literally none of them. I'll give you an example as well, right? I mean, look at Aave ETH, and this was the best one, friends. This was literally one of the best. Aave, look, by the time this was the bull market peak, May. Look at that. By the time the market was peaking, it had done 0 gains in a year against Ethereum. Bang, round trip. And then that's when China banned Bitcoin right here. And it was all over. You made nothing. No gains. By the way, that was the best chart. Chainlink was down. Everything was down. Let me show you Link ETH chart, an abomination as well. Look at this. This was August 2020. And by the time we peaked in May 2021, there you go. Look at that, dude. You were down, friends. You were down. Look how freaking disgustingly scammy this is, bro. We were down 75% against Ethereum, and it was all over. You see how sad it is? So they had all the adoption. They had the adoption. They had the smart people, all the numbers, the developers. Meant nothing. Why did it mean nothing, friends? Because the narrative is Fugazi. It's because it gets priced in. Oh, you think you're the only person who does research? Guess again, buddy. Everybody can see that thing has a lot of attention, activity, numbers, code, company stuff. A lot of momentum. So that's why it's moving me on to this next segment, right? There's a claim going out that Soylana have 7,200 developers active. And I was like, whoa. I heard that number. Now, you want to know what's a big number? Ethereum has the world's biggest number for crypto. It's 5,000, all right? For about 5,500 or whatever. So when I heard 7,000, I'm like, oh my gosh, has something enormous been happening right beneath my nose? Oh my gosh, 7,000 developers. And I go, wait, what are they building? What are they building? You only know one thing on Soylana. Its name is Pump Fund. What are they building? By the way, if you ask me what they're building, you know one of the first and best examples they use? I'm not joking. Google Maps with a crypto token. I'm not making it up. Go ask Ansoy. Go ask Ivan. Yeah, it's literally Google Maps with a crypto token, okay? Where they incentivize you to go do them. And they just dress it up like it's going to be, no, it'll be used to track all... Google Maps with a crypto token, bro. That's literally the best thing you can do. That's your number one. Whoa. All right. If you like it. Now, I went and did the investigation deeper because this is big stuff, man. Because let's check, friends. Before we even have an opinion on anything, which we don't because I'm a peanut brain, and my opinion means nothing. If you go and check this out, if Soylana's 86 billion and Ethereum is 350 billion, I mean, like there's literally a 4x difference. And Soylana's got 50% more Ethereum devs. You're like, oh my gosh, is this like the easiest 10x from here? That means Soylana should go to $2,000 if that's true. Then you start digging. Who's saying the numbers? Soylana maxis. People selling Soylana material. Maybe selling access to a Discord group or a pump fund group. Selling access. They got the Soylana ETF. They're trying to load. Selling access to, hey, buy a tool or I'll tell you how to find amazing coins on Soylana. It's all coming from them. I'm like, you know what? I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Then I went and checked it myself. It's not 7,200. It's 600. All right. Now, why is the number, where do they get 7,200 from? They count pump fund token suppliers as a dev. Really? Okay. All right. Look, you can count them, man. It dresses up the numbers to be better. But I've done my digging, and I'm just telling you, dude, I want this number to be real. It's the easiest 10x of our life, if that was real. Unequivocal fact. If it was true, you had 7,200 developers, 50% more than Ethereum, easiest 10x of your life. Easier than anything you ever do. The problem is, it ain't real. Because there ain't 7,200, and the number's overstated by like 10x, okay? Actually, ask ChatGPT for a breakdown. It's actually got the biggest protocols here. Jupiter, 100 to 150. Games and infrastructure, 100 plus, 50 to 150. Meme coin developers, thousands. It's just shocked me. So that's why I've written it here, right? I immediately smelled BS. I checked it up. They include pump fund devs as developers. So don't believe that number, friends. It's a load of rubbish, okay? Ethereum's got 5,000 plus. People only got 600. Now, this is where I left you a clue in this because I didn't want to make the post too long. But I've left you a clue as to, like, who's right. Like, what they're saying is Solana's cheap. It's 80 billion. It should be 800 billion. It should be bigger than Ethereum. So here's the thing, man. It's been priced in to perfection for a year and a half. Ethereum has 125 billion stable coins on it, and Solana has 12 billion. You got to admit, that's weird. If you've got more developers and there's all this activity in people, why are there 10 times more stable coins on Ethereum when it's slower, crapper, soy, disjointed, liquidity fragment, all these other criticisms they say? Ethereum's still got 10 times more stable coins to play. It must mean that the people using the stable coins, they don't care about the third world country issue of, like, you know, oh, I've got to pay $2 to Western Union to move money. They don't care. The big money doesn't care about that. Okay, which has literally been saying that from day one. Now, here's the kicker for you. You need to compare TradFi to Ethereum, not Ethereum to Soylana. Okay, because TradFi's banking experience, rubbish. So Ethereum is 100x better than their experience right now. 100x. Faster, all this, but when I say fast, I don't mean transaction stuff. We mean finalization, we mean reward assets, networks, all the applications, everything in one place. It's not disjointed, access to communities, all these other things right here. It's bigger, it's better, it's faster in every single way, okay? Obviously, Ethereum to Soylana, you're like, whoa, it's like much faster. Yeah, but they don't really care. For example, everybody wants the Ferrari. If you go make friends, you ever hear like one of those random, you know, they do like the speculative type of futuristic model cars where they go, oh, this will beat a Ferrari in a race. But no one wants that car. No one's heard of that car. You know, it looks like a Robocop. It's like, oh, it's a car from the future. And it looks like zippy and it's got like, you know, futuristic, like something like this. You know, like, whoa, this looks cool. And they put it in the lights, neon lights. I guarantee you every single kid that turns 21, if you give them a lottery win, they're buying a Ferrari or a Lambo. That's it. They're just stuck in their head. You know what I mean? They're not touching this. They don't know what this is. Okay, this is just like futuristic Tron looking Tron movie, right? So when you think about it like that, it makes sense now, right? All the institutions, they're excited about meth. And meth's cheap. It is cheap. ETH-BTC is low. So that's why when I went and did the numbers, friends, you know, 7,200 includes, you know, people who abandon projects after a weekend, pump fund devs, people who open a GitHub repo once. Now it starts to make sense. Now, when you're looking at this, there's lessons, friends. And like, you got to appreciate I'm showing you this happening in real time. Not, oh, after the thing has stopped or after the thing has trapped everybody. I'm actually showing it to you as it's happening because this is the SOL-eth ratio, all right? Now, this is the thing, friends, okay? SOL-eth has run up for, man, this is such a long time, dude. Like 720 days. Jeez. That is 1.97 years, bro. 2 years of running up. Oh my gosh. 2 years, bro. You've run up for 2 years against Ethereum, and you guys are saying more. Friends, I went and checked it myself, okay? So before I teach people stuff, I want to look at myself. What's a long time to run up? 6 months. After 6 months, I'm not joking, out of 10 coins that run, after the 6 month mark, only 3 are left. Yep. So 70% are gone after 6 months. And what I mean by gone is in, that's their top. Now, you don't know it's their top, but that's the top. It's run up for 6 months, and in that window of time, that's where the top is for it. So you can imagine what I'm thinking when this thing goes 6 months, then 9, then 12, then 1.5 years. Now we're in 2 years, bro. Like you get it now. Kind of funny. ChainLink did a God run in last cycle, a God bear market run. I just checked how long it went up for. It was about 720 days as well. I literally just checked it right now. So if you check how long this thing ran up for, 721 days to the top. Now, here's the thing. You didn't know this was the top, man. Look at this. It still looks amazing, doesn't it? Like, you're like, wow, everybody's on side. Everybody's on side. But what ends up happening is as this part happens, okay, see, friends, this thing is sliding, but tick, 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 because you think it's going to bottom out, and it doesn't. It goes down. You think it's going to bottom out. It goes down. And then you realize, oh, no, I've had so much opportunity cost in this whole time. I mean, look how long it takes for you to realize you've been scammed. It takes you about another 9 months. You see? But in that 9 months, the whole bull market was happening. Okay? So it's not as easy, friends, if it was easy as find the chain with the most number of users and people and just buy into it. If it was easy as that, bro, there'd be no crypto industry. You'd have no KOLs in crypto. There's literally nothing. It's literally, okay, this thing has the most numbers, just get in. That is totally wrong. Do you want to know something, friends? I know this. That's why I do this my research, and I know these numbers off by heart. Do you know XRP? You know, last year, right? For 2023 and 2024, did you know XRP had one of the lowest developer growth in the entire crypto industry? It was actually dead last, next to Polkadot, I think. Actually, no, it was worse than Polkadot. Polkadot was actually growing, even though they're not making any money. Can you believe it? I know these numbers. I reported on it. Let me tell you something. I reported on the numbers here. I know the numbers. During this time, ChainLink had the highest growth. XRP had the worst. Look what Chainlink's done since then. Nothing. It's gone up a tiny bit. But look what XRP did. XRP, some call SexRP, look at this, did a whopping 566% move up. Bang, 6.6x. If you, imagine that, like if you were to go off this strategy, you're like, oh, just, okay, sell the XRP and go buy the thing with the most. Look where you end up. By the way, you know who had the most number of numbers back then? Ethereum. So I'm opening your mind now. That's why it's not as easy, friends. So like The market prices it in, friends. That's what I'm telling you. The market prices it in. Your edge is not based off today. You're not going to find information where you go, oh, wow, look at all these amazing numbers. Things are amazing. The money is made in the qualitative belief. I know I got to use the B word, belief, because it's true, bro. It's true. Tell me, like, oh, what tech did Doge have last cycle? Nothing. What tech did Corridanzo have? Nothing, bro. They didn't even have smart contracts, and it hit 100 billion market cap for a smart contract platform. Explain that. That's like a car winning the race, and it doesn't even have a freaking wheel on it. It has no wheels, and the car won the race. Explain that for me. So, you're not going to believe me until it's done, though. That's the thing, all right? Friends, a good thing about it, like, do you honestly think I sit here, want to waste all my time, go, golly gee, there's like such an obvious fundamental thing where if you just buy the thing with the most amount of users and adoption, it just makes money. Man, you would have solved crypto at that point. It doesn't work like that. Okay? You're trying to predict the future. Predicting the future, we're still 50-50. Okay? But you have to position yourself well. You've got to position yourself such that, okay, you're flipping a coin, heads or tails. Heads or tails. I can't tell you I've got a coin here, a PDI or a PulseX logo. I'm going to flip the coin. I can't tell you if it's going to be heads or tails. I can't tell you. But I can tell you that I would love to play a game where if it's heads, I win $100, and where it's tails, I lose $10. I would love to play that game. Okay, I've positioned myself. Would you rather play that game, or would you rather play the game of, let's say, make a worse odds game where heads, you win $5, tails, you lose $50? Do you want to play that game? That's picking up a penny in front of a freight train. You get it? It's all about positioning. Yeah. So that's what you basically, we've got to use the analogy. You're going through a casino, you're just looking for a game with good odds that you can see. So we can use this qualitative stuff out here. So when you see everybody in the world saying, Pulse Chain's dead, and I'm like, having a PulseX conference, Pulse Chain conference, multiple conferences, 170 content creators, everyone's still here, making constant videos and stuff, just waiting for green candles. That doesn't look dead to me, bro. You know what I mean? Now, here's the thing. It could be dead. We could be in purgatory right now. That's why I'm saying, if a bull market does come, if Ethereum breaks 4,000, if the business cycle goes on through, if we just continue the cycle, I think this is now positioned for asymmetric upside. Same as PDI. You get it? Totally different. You got to think about Soylana, right? Because here's the thing. If you're looking at Soylana, because it's very, very important, friends, because you're going to hear this everywhere, right? That's but look, Soylana, you have all the developers in the world, which I call BS. Trump launched a meme coin on you. Ethereum went to zero here. Vitalik capitulates and everything, and SOL-eth is still going down. Explain that for me. You basically, friends, you have a news failure here. You get an ETF. President launched a coin on your chain and everything, and like everyone says you're the way, the truth, the light. Pump fun, all these other things are happening, and why is your ratio going down? Why is your ratio going down? So why is the ratio going down? Because everybody is positioned for this to run to perfection already. That's the answer. Okay, so friends, I don't look at something and go, that's a bad chain, that's a good chain. I don't do that. That's not what you're meant to do. To win the game, you don't do that. You look at the prices and you go, value, expensive. That's what you're looking for. Okay? Like, for example, there are some chains out there where, you know, maybe you're not excited about their logo or anything. But if the price goes low enough, you could be excited, right? Like, look at StarkNet, for example. Let's look at it. Let's look at StarkNet, friends. If I show you StarkNet, it's an Ethereum layer 2 grift. I'm not making this up, by the way. It's actually true. They're straight from Tel Aviv, Israel. I don't know how or why. They're literally like it's an Israeli Ethereum layer 2. And the office is in there. I don't know what. That's why when I looked at it, I'm like, man, is this some sort of Mossad operation? That's what I really thought that when I thought. It's like so strange. It just comes straight from there. Its FDV's 1.4 billion. Okay, and it's down here, 13 cents. Look at this. It used to be, look at its market cap, right? It used to be market cap 1.7 billion. Now it's down to 500 million. Personally, I'm still not excited because Pulse Chain's the same valuation. Yeah. If you could let me buy StarkNet at 50 million valuation, now I'm interested. It's like dirt cheap, right? But that's me. You know, other people will be like, no, 500 million's cheap enough, and they're going to get in. You see, so the market is always working this stuff out. So that's why, friends, I've given you this very juicy and yummy update to prepare you for what's coming. What's coming is things are going to confuse you, because you're going to see stuff where, like, you're just going to see stuff that just makes absolutely no sense to just go up, right? And then you're going to find the one guy who's going to come out who made a lot of money, or girl, or pup or squirrel, and they'll say, I knew it was going to happen. I believed it was a good product or community or whatever, and everyone came after me and I win. And then I'm going to make a video about it and remind you, notice what they said. Everybody came after me. Not, I bought after everyone was in, and then we all got rich together. Do you ever hear that story? You don't hear that story. By the way, most of my audience, you baby dolls, you came in 2021. So you were buying at the end of everything back then. It's just that we all thought it would keep going up, right? So you've lived through that. You get it? So that's pretty much, it's tough, friends. It's tough. You're dealing with network effect. That's why I tell you, man, I made the framework work. Memes, cults, religions. That's the juice. If you don't leave in a bear market, well, my gosh, you're going to be here for the bull market when it's easy. If you never left when the times were nuclear, Holocaust, winter, tough, what do you think's going to happen when the things get easier? That's the mindset you need. But when you're dealing with TradFi and people selling you products and all these other things, it gets obfuscated there because they believe in nothing. They believe in nothing, friends. They believe in nothing. They're like, oh, I want to follow the momentum and stuff out here. Look, you don't have to believe. You went through it, by the way. You went through it. Most of you friends, you don't even know. I'd like to ask you, what coin did you buy in 2021? You probably bought some dog coins. Maybe you bought gaming, metaverse, NFTs. You all came in all those fields. You know, you bought stuff that nobody was holding in 2020. You know that? No one was holding your stuff. No one was in gaming and metaverse. Yeah, of course, there's a few things, and you guys had Luna. They were like the 5% cherry picked. Everyone was still holding XRP and Litecoin. They were holding stuff with people who like believed in them. They had all the T1 exchanges and stuff out here, and they were holding the DeFi season 1 stuff from 2020. You get it? So the new people coming in now, they're going to just be playing around with junk that we just consider straight junk that's probably going to moon, right? Obviously, hopefully we try to get onto something on it, but it could be where it shocks us, where maybe the new adopter, maybe they're not as degenerate as we think. Maybe they just want a stable coin with some yield or a ping pong coin. Do you know what I mean? It's always full of surprises. That's why stablecoin supercycle, it ticks every question mark for me in terms of, I'm like, well, if this went up, would it make Eric Wald's head explode? Yes. Would people like cope and seethe? Yes. Because it makes no sense to them. Because they're like, wait a minute, I thought you're coming into crypto to take on a lot of risk, not to come in here and buy something already at $1 so you can earn yield. You know, just something like you're like, just to shock everyone. Those are the things, that's what your mind has to really think about. Doesn't mean we definitely know what's right, you know? But if you think you're going to make it just by looking at, oh, developers, 7,000 developers, let's just get in, it's definitely going to work. Even though every single KOL in crypto has been shilling it for like literally 2 years, it doesn't work, friends. It literally doesn't work. All right. The goal is to literally buy low, sell high. It's the buy value. You're trying to buy $1 for 10 cents. Okay. You're not trying to buy $1 for 90 cents. When things are priced to perfection, that's pretty much what it is. Okay. Like, subscribe, belly button, all. Catch you soon.